This user asks, best way to reverse a string. This is a question asked on Stack Overflow. Let's get right into it. Say we had a string called myString, and just for the sake of keeping this simple, we're going to create a string with the number from 0 to 9. That way we can truly see if our string has been reversed or not. Looking at the way that this person has created this reverse string, if we run this application, we can see that it does indeed reverse the string. So what's the problem with this? Let me explain. We need to look at this as memory usage. Working with strings is extremely memory intensive. For my string, every single character is stored in memory as an array of characters. At line 5, they do 2-char array, and they have another reference for another array. Basically what they've done here is that they've created another duplicate copy of this character array. They've called it C array, and by default, everything is empty. So now in memory, we have 2 arrays. Next, they create a reverse string, which has no information in it whatsoever. It's just an empty address. They reverse iterate through the char array, and then they add a character to the string after each iteration. Because strings are immutable, every time they add a character, it will create a new reference for that object and then add the character. So if we were to complete this array, it would basically look something like this. Now you see, just running this simple method, you could see that we've created a lot of memory. We've allocated a lot of space in memory. So the goal or the question is, how do I create a reverse method of a string as performant as possible by creating the least amount of variables? The first thing I would do is just get rid of the C array, because the text is already iterable. That is one line that we don't have to worry about. So now our process got a little bit simpler. Now we've removed the C array. This is gone, already saving some space in memory. There's a rule of thumb when working with strings. If you're adding a lot of strings together, it's best to use a string builder. So let's change this reverse variable using a string builder. Now, based on C# standards, if I already know what the data type is on the right, I don't need to specify it here. I could change it to a var. Clean this up, add a couple spaces, and now we could append our characters one at a time, just like this. And by using toString, we can get our variable here. We can validate everything's still working by clicking the play button. You can see that it indeed still works. Now we've created a string builder object, and we've added all the information in there. So we have 2 objects. We have the result and we have the actual string builder object. So now things are getting cleaner, but we can do better. Have a look at this solution. I'm going to change this return variable to use an IEnumerable using a character result. Then instead of returning anything, we could just return yield, and then we need to convert our array of characters into a string. So we can create a string object and wrap it. Creating a new string requires that our object be an array, so we can convert this to an array. We don't need the string builder anymore. Now if we look at the memory of this method, we've got our string, we've removed the string builder, we've iterated through each character, converted it to an array, and then created the string. Now in this method, we've removed the string builder. Our string is iterated using the stack memory. Our toArray creates the array as an array of characters, and then creating the object points directly to this array. There's one more thing we can do here, and here I'm just gonna have fun. Let's see what we can do. If I use a reverse method, I'm actually using LinkQ to do this. Let's see if I can create a string directly from this. I cannot. However, I can use the toArray just like that in a single line. Now we can put this here and we can get rid of this method. Now if we F12 to this reverse, we can see that this is part of the enumerable LinkQ namespace, which is basically exactly the same as we've done here. The characters are enumerated and then a string is created using an array. And just in case you were wondering, this is the namespace that is currently being used for this reverse method, as well as the toArray. If you found this tutorial informative, be sure to check out the link in the description. We have a full step-by-step process in text format where you can actually follow along and copy some code. It's really easy to use. It's fantastic. Thank you so much, and we'll chat later. Bye.